Thank you so much for staying with us. And in case you're just joining us, welcome to Kenya's Gold, where the focus of the day is on flower farming in Kenya. Very shortly, we will be sitting down and speaking to an expert who will help us understand a lot more when it comes to the state of flowers in Kenya. But for now, let us have a look at what the production of flowers has been in the recent years. We'll also get to see where we lie as a continent when it comes to flower production, and also who are our international markets. Now, if we look at the production over the last recent years, remember Kenya comes fourth when it comes to the exportation of cut flowers. So how much of these flowers have we been exporting, and what is the financial value of the same? So in 2022, we exported 198,736 metric tons of flowers, and the financial value of the same was at 103.8 billion. In 2023, there was a significant decline in both the production of exported flowers and also the financial value, because the export was at 116,272 metric tons, and the financial value of the same was 73,455 billion, noting a decrease of 82,464 metric tons. Now, the flowers we are exporting are varieties of flowers, not just one particular flowers. So that may beg the question of what are the main flowers that we grow right here in Kenya. Of course, we have roses, which are the main flowers, the most popular flowers grown in Kenya and also exported as well. We do have carnations, we have alstroemeria, we also have the very popular gypsophilia, we have lilies as well, arabicum, hypericum, and statice as well. Now, these are some of the main flowers that are grown in Kenya and also exported. Now, let us have a look at where we lie as a continent when it comes to flower production. Remember, if you're talking about a global perspective, we come fourth. But when you're talking about the continent, Kenya dominates the continent of Africa when it comes to flower production, and that puts us as at number one. But we also do have other countries in Africa that are doing absolutely great when it comes to flower production, and those countries include Zimbabwe, South Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, and Zambia as well. But Kenya tops the list in the continent. Now, very finally, who are our international markets? Something very important to note is we export our flowers to over 60 nations, but we do have that what we call our main market, and our main market is Netherlands, the United Kingdom, Germany, and Norway. Europe takes about 70% of our flowers, and the other smaller markets include Middle East, Asian countries, and Egypt as well. Now that we have noted there has been a decrease in production, we've had an overview of who are our international markets and what the financial value of our flowers has been. We do have our guests ready on standby with a lot of gems to drop for us when it comes to flower farming. Karibu sana, Morris.
Yes.
Thank you for making time to be with us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course,
yes.
Anytime. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Kile ambacho kimenifurahisha Ngina kwa graphics zako ni kwamba katika bara la Afrika sisi ndo tumeshikilia.
Na ujaiba ya msichana maua. Imagine. Na sisi ndo number one.
Ubabe ndo.
Just imagine.
Ulikuwa unangoja tu nikosea alafu.
From today, mununue maua. We can't be number one in flower production.
Yes. It's very true.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good job. Now, moving on to the agenda and the questions of the day, we are noticing a very significant decrease in the flowers that we have been exporting to the international market.
That's very true.
Maybe, Morris, you can help us understand where is the problem?
Okay.
Ni nini tunafanya vibaya? Ama ni hali ya anga? What is happening leading to the decrease in production of flowers that we are exporting?
Yes. Once again, thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure being here in the studios. And like you're saying, there has been a decline in the export market. But it's also good to note that it's not just in the flower industry. It is happening across board. And one of these things could be the cost of doing business. Cost of doing business has gone up so much. There are increasing taxes that will also affect the increase in freight costs.
Right.
The pests are also increasing. Remember, we had, like in 2022, we had quite long periods of drought, which also introduced new pests in the industry that are affecting now the flowers.
Right.
And also there are stringent measures kept by the global organizations that regulate the export of flowers. So in terms of pesticides, they're very keen to note that. So when flowers are found to have a lot of pesticides sprayed on them, they cannot access the export market. So those are some of the reasons that are affecting even the production of the flowers, leading to a decline in the same.
Right.
Yes.
Kama agronomist, najua kwamba tunahitaji kweli kufanya ile export. Lakini kabla tuende kule lazima tuhakikishe kwamba shambani kila kitu iko shwari.
Yes.
Wakati mkulima nimekutana naye akazungumza kwamba anafanya kazi yake nje ya greenhouse. Ukikwenda kwa greenhouse, ile light ambayo tunahitaji, muhimu wake ni nini hasa kuchangia kwamba tunafaa kusafirisha maua yetu?
Thank you, Trevor, for that question. Nikurudishe nyuma kwa agriculture lesson. Ile tulikuwa tunaambiwa the components ama zile zinahitajika for plants to grow. Light was among them. Kulikuwa air, light, and water. So light is very important because light inatumika kwa ile process inaitwa photosynthesis. For the plant, this is now the flower, to be able to convert the CO2 and water into sugars. So light is very important, and for someone who might be growing outside, anaweza kupata light enough. Lakini on the other side, flip side, kuna vitu zingine kama maji, moisture content that not be able to control. So when someone wants to do flowers, I would encourage them to do the greenhouse way, but ensure there is utmost light that the flowers will be able to enjoy.
Right.
Yes.
So one of the reasons that you have mentioned as to why there's been a decrease in production, you've mentioned pests, pesticides, excessive usage of pesticides. And just sitting here as an agronomist, I'm very curious to find out, do we have enough agronomists on the ground? Because that becomes now your responsibility to make sure that this does not become a challenge because of proper sensitization to our farmers. We're making sure that we are doing the right thing in the farm. Do we have enough agronomists? Do we have enough field extension officers working to our farmers? Where is the problem in there?
Yes, I would say people have studied enough in the country. There's a lot of research that has been done even on how to control the pest. But on the ground, you find that not many farmers will be able to access these services. Either agronomical support is expensive. I remember I had talked about cost of doing business. That could be one of the major reasons. So you find a farmer will just decide, okay, ajifanyie tu mwenyewe, especially the smallholder farmers. They might not have the capacity to hire the services of a well-trained agronomist who will be able to work with them and advise them on the proper ways of doing this, of growing these flowers.
Expensive is a bit relative. Maybe if you can break down to us so that we have a clear picture of when you say expensive, what are we talking? Because there's someone who has probably never consulted an agronomist and also want to understand those rates. Is it a one-off? Is it all through the visits there's a charge? Please help us understand how those rates work.
Most definitely. They would vary from one agronomy to the other. There are even agrovets who would have extension services to do that. But you find that it's not a one-off. It's not something that you'll go and advise the farmer today and you leave them to do for the rest of the cycle. No, agronomical support should be step by step. When the flowers germinate, up to when they start now flowering, to cutting and exporting, you need that support. So you find that there's some agronomists who would charge maybe 5,000 per visit, others up to 10,000 per visit, depending on the proximity of the farm, because of again cost of fuel, maybe to go to the farm and all that. So it varies from one agronomist to the other.
Okay.
Yes.
Ulipoona Ngina akifanya graphics uliona tuko nambari moja barani Afrika. Japokuwa umesema tununue maua kwa wale mabiti. Angalia kitu kimoja.
Yes.
Je, unadhani tumefikia kiwango kizuri hasa kwa wale tunaita extension officers? Na serikali ifanye nini ili tubaki pale ama tuwe kielelezo kizuri kwa mataifa mengine barani Afrika?
Okay. One thing is to it cuts across border to ease the cost of doing business in Kenya. So extension services wa government wakuwe enhanced vizuri such that they are available even not just to flowers, across board kwa crop zote ndio weze kuwa accessible. You find that kwa counties wameanza kuhamasisha about agribusiness, what to grow and so forth. So you find that government ina jukumu kubwa sana la kufanya kuwezesha hawa extension services kuwa available. Wengine unaweza pata kwa county kuna kama 3 ama 4 to serve a whole county. That is not it is not good. So we should increase them. Government ina jukumu increase these extension services ndio kila mkulima aweze kubenefit.
So these extension officers who have been hired by the government, and we've had the government talk about them all the time, and their efforts to increase them in different counties, are they the very same ones who will come and charge 5,000 to 10,000, or those are the ones in private practice like you?
Those are private.
Private charge.
Yes, we'll charge you. But for government, you find now there are not many. So, and that is why even private farms, big farms, they'll opt to have an agronomist with them employed on a salary to assist them throughout. Because for the government, extension services are not available. There are not many. We need to increase them.
Asante sana Maurice Konya kwa kumiminika maarifa kwa mtazamaji ni kufuatilia kama kawaida na kuhakikisha kwamba unaandika ili utekeleze. Ni mwalimu, ni mtaalamu hasa kuhusiana na ukulima, tunaita kwa lugha ya King'eng'e agronomist. Tunakwenda mapumzikoni, tukirejea tumgali tupo na yeye atupatie maarifa yake. Usikwenda popote.